This is Real FM.
They tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, yes again. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over, they unleash their lawyer, set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley. But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw. I don't need to close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle now. Stop fooling the people. The country taking and beating. So me plea are repeating. Go. They're like a natural disaster. Now. 10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on their knees. And I'm begging, now we and I did one week. From Versailles to the country, streets turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing. Now this is my humble petition. Announce the date for election. Go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we ain't get no recess. Before things fall apart and the riot starts. Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation. Go. To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage. Like a dog with fleas and down on their knees. And I'm begging, go now. They try to stick me with rage me. They are more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. That's why I'm singing. Please, Mrs. Pamela. Take Munila and Sharma. Go now, please. Them and their minions, total villains, raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick. Swimming in a pool of dollars so blue. Like meat eating vulture, they neglect agriculture. Mega fans of phony, Mama Guy Caroni. Sweet man Glenn and Sharma came face to face with the karma. And it was awful, but you went too far. Don't need a big mouth to tell them.
Yes, Igwe.
Peace, my brother. Welcome to all the listeners and the viewers of Independent Talk for Sunday, 7th January 2024. Grenada is my constituency, Real FM is my parliament. I'm the people's spokesman, blessed and protected by the Ancient of Days. My purpose here is simply to give you the facts. What you do with the facts is a matter entirely for you. Igwe. Good afternoon, Devon.
Good afternoon, Master Carl. Good afternoon, Igwe. And good afternoon to all our listeners and viewers. Happy New Year to everyone. I haven't got an opportunity to do that for the years yet, so.
Devon,
brother.
I have a calculation for you and for the listeners of Independent Talk today. Well, the program today will look into the recent developments as relates to the cabinet reshuffle. We go speak a little bit about the guns because I see a lot of bullet fire in Tongue last night.
About 14.
And anything surrounding the whole thing. There are some questions we need to ask. And there are some questions I need to ask or to speak to the media or mainstream media in this country. But first, Devon, before I give you anything, I will give you a calculation and I hope you could unfold it. 1 plus 9 equals 10. 10 minus 3 equals 7. 5 plus 3 equals 8. That the calculations are for you. Good afternoon to everyone hearing my voice. Ron, is it true that you're in Kareku? And if so, Ron, what are you doing up there? Is it true that the Youth for Change is convening some conversations? I don't know. But Ron, Tevin can help you. Because Tevin can't even help himself right now. Because they have to be on a good behavior, because to lose 14,000 plus 10, Ron, I don't feel they go study you and lose that money. No, Devon. The government of any country is elected to serve the people. This government went to Queen's Park and took the oath before God and man to serve the people. Notice it, to serve the people, not to serve themselves or their friends or their colleagues or the family, the people. We've heard the budget, Devon, and now we hear about the cabinet reshuffle. This cabinet reshuffle, to me, is a white elephant. It was just a smoke screen to fire Ron Redhead. And if we all understand, Ron was not performing with distinction, because on many occasions on this radio station we spoke to the conscience of Ron Redhead, but he didn't listen. We spoke about the vehicle he robbed for, he didn't listen. He take basket and chain up from the rest of them. He bunks people children. People having all kind of program defending lies. They don't saying, well, boy, we love you, but you're doing stupidness. Stop. As one of my early prominent Calypsonians, Crow say, if your child come home with a diamond, you have to ask the child, where you get that from? Because if you don't do that, Devon, when the police come, the family go be in problem. We say, Ron, go to the child mother. Speak to her. You don't too big to apologize. They're peddling a set of lies. Then, because they embolden Ron to do stupidness. So then if he could take people on and break down fence and do all kind of things. And by the tears of that mother, the tears of the mother, Ron. And the old lady I meet by the market in Grenville, I see she drag bam bam is a serious thing, Devon. But listen this. So I decided to go in my own little way, because I'm a citizen of the state. So I said, before I give you anything, I'll go let you know. How, and the question begs, how does this cabinet reshuffle help or assist cost of living? How does this reshuffle help those who beggy and those hungry mouth? And how does it help the vulnerable? How does it help the people in Moncton? How does it help people in Lafayette? How does it help people in River Sally? How does it help people in Latant? How does it help people in Carriacou or Petit-Martinique? How does this reshuffle help or assist in the easing of cost of living? Now, Devon, the budget and now the cabinet reshuffle, the Prime Minister and the National Democratic Congress has failed to address incompetence. Because we see Lako and them incompetent and they give him other ministry. We say tell us what they didn't do nothing, they give him other ministry. They say Gloria Thomas telling people they're not cheap business when they go to her, but they give her, they promoting her. How does it address incompetence and the expense on the taxpayers' back? Because these people move from how much, $7,000 or $8,000 to 14 plus 10. We don't know how that 10 will be applied. So that $24,000 on the taxpayers' back of Grenada. How does this reshuffle help the poor, the vulnerable, what they don't like to hear about, at the expense? So seeing that in the budget had no measures to grow the economy, that money has to be made by taxing the people. More tax on the poor and vulnerable. And how does it ease cost of living? Because there is no measures to cut costs in food. There is no measures to cut costs in your bills. Gas continue to go up, electricity, water. And there's nothing, Devon, in the budget and now in this cabinet reshuffle that give confidence to the poor people of this country. This reshuffle, the intent of this reshuffle is to make run go, and it's just a white elephant. And it does not address all the allegations of incompetence and corruption in this government. The people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique deserves better. Devon.
Much better. Again, good afternoon to all. Master Carl, ironic, putting the two together, what was done, the reshuffle that was done and the budget, when you compare them and when you do the analysis of both of them, one, we look at the budget, the last budget that was passed, and it has nothing to cushion the cost of living, right? The effects of the poor and vulnerable. And so the workers, the services being provided by government. And so we have seen nothing, no improvement, nothing to cushion or to make that better. And here comes a reshuffle, right, of the cabinet of ministers, which was expected to bring some strength to the government. We have seen again that they have failed, right? They have only recycled persons within that organization to pick up position, right? We see that they have two new admissions to the cabinet. In one, Honorable Delma Thomas and the Parliamentary Secretary, Mr. Queensbrit. And so that in itself does not help Grenadians because it's an extra cost put on the burden of the taxpayer. Right, so all in all, when you look at both the budget and this present reshuffle, as you rightly said, they have, in my view, two intentions, and I think that they have met it. First and foremost was to ice and to get rid of Ron Reid, the troublemaker, right? That was one of the objectives of that, squeezing him out and silencing persons around him. And secondly, was to basically reward other members of the party, right? With financial, contributions. 2 new ministers. That's addition to taxpayers. The cost of the country, right? And it's additional pressure that is being put on this country, and I cannot see the rationale. I just cannot see the rationale for the reshuffle, but to basically conclude, as you rightly said, that Ron Redhead was the casualty of this reshuffle. And very important to note, we have not heard from Youth for Change. They are silent, but that silence may be golden, because what they did to Ron Redhead, in my view, my humble opinion, right, was to basically discriminate against him, was to take away a salary from him, right, that he earned being a parliamentary representative, being the representative for St. George's Northeast, right? They took away that from him. And they also took away the power that comes of being a minister. A young man like Ron, going through all these, yes, he have been making stupid mistakes, and so mistakes that has to be reined in my view. But to take away the money and to take away the power from him is what we need to look at, and we need to pay attention to the backlash of that.
Yes, Devon. Igwe, are receiving some information here that there's a serious echo.
I fix it early.
So persons, let me know if it has been sorted. Yes, Devon.
Yeah, so we have to, as you say, I look at it at two ways: the effects of both the economy, the taxpayers of our country, and what it will do, especially the reshuffle, what it is doing to a young, upcoming politician as Ron Redhead.
Igwe, you have something there for me, because we need to go into that. You play the one with the Prime Minister first.
Hold on.
You don't get it going yet?
I was setting it up on the corner.
Alright, okay, okay. So, yes, Devon, the audit board, the audit, because Queens, and we're going to get into it, parliamentary secretary is like a deputy minister.
A junior minister.
Or
Already?
a deputy minister. Okay. And with that will come a ministerial portfolio, and like 20-something grand. 14 plus 10. No, you don't even get it 10, out 14.
No, you don't get it 10. So let's
say, and
well, it might get about 13 or 12.
And what Holland gets, and I must make that point, Devon, in the last negotiations with the unions, the idea was floated to the unions that because of the constraint of the Fiscal Responsibility Act, they couldn't give more than 4%. 4% basically, when you work it out into ballpark figures, at let me say $150. So it was hard to give the public servants $150, and then came the resiliency legislation that make it easy to give people $5,000. So you understand what the government is doing? It's about themselves, nepotism.
Only themselves.
Themselves, them friends, them family, and them colleagues. And the wider public, so excuse was made. Up to now, excuse is being made about the promise in election for the police for the pay and grade. But they could take 5,000 for themselves and they could bring in new people and give them that kind of money.
14,000. It's a cult. We always keep
But
talking about
Devon, I want you to listen that clip and I need to make some points. Play the first clip by the Prime Minister.
Indicate that the Honorable Ron Redded, who held the position of Minister for State with responsibility for youth, sports and culture, will demit office as a minister, and he will remain obviously as the Member of Parliament for St. George Northeast. Minister Redded is doing so that he gets some time off from ministerial responsibility to pursue his academic and educational pursuits. We obviously take the opportunity to wish him well in this. We anticipate that in the not too distant future, he will conclude those academic pursuits and would be in a position, if he so chooses, and if the Prime Minister's agreed, to have him rejoin the cabinet. So those are the...
If he so chooses, and if the Prime Minister agree, two different things, eh?
Yeah, like two different things.
All right. But listen, the operative word here is demit.
demit office.
Demit is to resign.
Yeah.
So, and play Ron now because I need to draw a parallel.
Which one?
Ron, you send one for you, Ron, man. Don't ask which one. It's one I send for you, Ron. Last one I sent for you, Ron.
Thank you very much. Well, not in the capacity as a cabinet minister, but certainly a member of parliament. But I want to take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Prime Minister for his gracious offer and to allowing St. George Northeast to experience what I would consider a very important part of our cabinet and our government. I think it was very important. We learned significant lessons and we build a team. And we are still a team. So I want to reiterate that I still remain the Member of Parliament for St. George Northeast, fully committed, not just to party, but certainly to country, and will still continue to do my part to ensure that we move Grenada forward. And so to all the cabinet colleagues, I want to wish you all the best. And you know that you have my voice and my support in everything that you do. Thank you.
But the man don't even know he's a cabinet colleague. The man saying to all the cabinet colleagues, you don't even know he's in cabinet.
You don't hit him yet.
But listen, no way. Play that clip again, Igwe.
You don't even know he get fired.
Not in the capacity as a cabinet minister, but certainly a member of parliament. But I want to take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Prime Minister for his gracious offer and to allowing St. George Northeast to experience what I would consider a very important part of our cabinet and our government. I think it was very important. We learned significant lessons and we build a team. And we are still a team. So I want to reiterate that I still remain the Member of Parliament for St. George Northeast, fully committed, not just to party, but certainly to country, and will still continue to do my part to ensure that we move Grenada forward. And so to all the cabinet colleagues, I want to wish you all the best. And you know that you have my voice and my support in everything that you do. Thank you.
Devon.
He didn't get to the realization that he was fired.
The man didn't know, he don't know he get fired.
He didn't recover from that yet. But what is significant with his statement, though, and I circle it, when he said he's thankful to the Prime Minister for his gracious offer. Now, I'm trying to figure out what is that offer
Now we go get to the gracious offer. You afraid? We will get to the gracious offer.
And most significantly, when he speaks about Loa, about the team, and we are still a team. Now, these are phrases and words that we must pay particular attention to, right? When it comes to Ron Redhead.
You will like take a break and come back. I find you doing something that is distracting me. Like take a break and come.
A lot of things going on need to be done.
You go-
They tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, yes, yeah. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over, they unleash their lawyer, set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley. But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw. I don't need to close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle now. Stop fooling the people. The country taking a beating. So maybe I repeating. Go. They're like a natural disaster. Now. 10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas and down on their knees. And I'm begging, go now. We and I did one week. From Versailles to the country. Streets turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing, go now. This is my humble petition. Another day for election. Go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess. Before things fall apart and the riot starts. Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation. To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage. Like a dog with fleas. A dog on the knees. And I'm begging, go now. They try to stick me with rage me. They have more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing. Please, Mrs. Kamla. Take Munila and Sharma. Go now, please. Them and them minions, total villains, raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick. Swimming in a pool of dollars so blue. Like meat-eating vulture, they neglect agriculture. Mega fans of phony, Mama Guy Caroni. Sweet man Glenn and Sharma came face to face with the karma. And it was awful, gone through it to pull. Don't need a big mouth to tell them go. Watch her and see they does follow now. Before we regret tomorrow, please. You're setting a bad example. Family values they trample. Go. It's only vice they desire now. Before the 5 years expire. Like a dog with fleas, a dog on the knees. And a bleeding go now. Before we end in bankruptcy. Before they empty the treasury. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm bleeding go quarrel, always oral, highly immoral. They let the good doctor stab to that. Used to court him, once support him, no road to point for him. But once in power, they quickly forget. They love confrontation, so no mediation. The case by the Privy Council, but the warriors is settled. You see, you could make a fortune.
Thank you very much. Well, not in the capacity as a cabinet minister, but certainly a member of parliament. But I want to take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Prime Minister for his gracious offer and to allowing St. George Northeast to experience what I would consider a very important part of our cabinet and our government. I think it was very important. We learned significant lessons and we built a team. And we are still a team. So I want to reiterate that I still remain the Member of Parliament for St. George Northeast, fully committed, not just to party, but certainly to country, and will still continue to do my part to ensure that we move Grenada forward. And so to all the cabinet colleagues, I want to wish you all the best. And you know that you have my voice and my support in everything that you do. Thank you.
Devon, we heard nothing about study from Ron.
Nothing.
The Prime Minister just say you're going and study, but you forget. But Devon, when the Prime Minister was in Parliament and he say, and get that clip again, who hungry mouth? And who beggy? Does Ron tick off all those boxes?
Oh, yes.
They go buy you could be parliamentarian. Exactly. But listen, he say the gracious offer, so I want people to watch on the screen. Read for all yourself. I ain't say nothing. Gates, you could read what they for me.
Me give up $14,000 a month to go and study when I can easily study online, unless I'm getting paid.
Who say that?
I look like Ron.
No, who say unless I'm getting paid? Don't say look like Ron, man. You think they people you don't want to read it?
Who say it?
Yeah.
Ron say it?
You see, what else you get? You're losing it too late, man.
What say
You
it?
see Ron, what they below there?
I don't understand what you say, Naigwe.
Well, Gates, you
You want me to read what the person comment?
Well, that was important that the gracious offer.
Gracious offer.
Read the gracious offer.
Teens, what if you continue to be paid your same salary, not from the government, and you get to study without the hustle?
Who say that?
Delma Thomas.
What position she get?
She get mental health and health.
So what is the gracious offer? You see, I want you to read it. I don't want them to say me I put in my own thing. Devon, watch the page and get it on your phone and read it, because you see.
Yeah, put it up on his
But
He tied me up.
Ron talk about thanks for the gracious offer. That wasn't my words, Igwe.
And we want to know what's the gracious offer.
And then we seen that. So who am I? I don't know. I die from somebody who is within.
Who is...
An ordinary person didn't make that comment.
No. So who is willing to foot that bill? Government or some...
I don't know. I don't speculate. I'm only reading what they. I not Jesus Christ's twin brother. I not, but the man is sorry for most in all that is Ian Django Thomason. Like you bubble go busting or Django. Because then people say the check bouncing. And you don't have an advocate against Django. In all of that, you are sorry for Django. You, me, and you, we tight. You doesn't meet me and don't check me.
Yeah, Django is my bro.
And Django, with all of that Django, I don't know.
You see, what is
But somebody asked me give up $14,000 to go and study. But Ron never say about study. That's what the Prime Minister say. Well, unless I'm getting paid to study. And then one of the ministers in government say, if you continue to be paid the same salary, not the government. So that is gracious offer. That what is the gracious offer, not the government.
Gracious offer.
Because he didn't say the government give him a gracious offer. He said the Prime Minister
give him. It's thanks for the gracious offer. And I just underline that, the gracious offer. I mean, because we need to
Devon,
know.
when I talk about incompetence and corruption, I doesn't just say things so. I just back up what I'm saying. So let it beat up. Let out files now. According to Cat Williams, anything I say, I receipt for it.
We need to know the content.
Anything I say here, Gates, I have a receipt for it. So the guys say, thanks to the Prime Minister for the gracious offer. One among them say, what if you continue to be paid the same salary? And they put it, they give a caveat.
Yeah,
Not from government.
So who? Well, Ron already said it.
No,
Thanks.
Devon, you missing the point.
Thanks to the Prime Minister.
Devon, the point they are in front of you. The Prime Minister say when they hungry mouth and they beggy people could buy them. Why you asking again? That's true to farming. Not from the government. But he said the Prime Minister give him a gracious offer. The Prime Minister say when all them out on the ground and all the hungry and the beggy people could buy all you. I don't go in further than the words of the Prime Minister. I mean, not Jesus Christ, twin brother, to interpret what he say. Just the language in which it is said or written, simply this. So when I talk about corruption, when I talk about nepotism, I don't go in another thing because that is the receipt for those things. You could be paid the same salary, not from government. And Ron say, thanks for the gracious offer. You ever see a man get fire and glad? Where else in the world that does happen? But I have to speak to mainstream media. You'll get back to that, Devon. But I must speak to mainstream media. And I have a parallel argument based on a lot of people view of the media boycotting or do going or whatsoever anything Friday. The media all get set up. The man don't want certain question asked of him, Devon. So he put things in motion Thursday. So he know the media go get vexed and don't come Friday. So they won't ask him the question on it. And they would never get another chance to ask those questions because on the next occasion he will say, no, that here we for. So because mainstream media did not do, how they call it, the fourth estate? Because the fourth estate failed on Friday. All the baby like little children, and I going to play marble, and I losing, I taking a marble and go. Now it's not time for that. I'll give the Prime Minister a pass again. So I don't know if that look like set up, Devon. That could be set up too.
Well, yes, set up, but the most of the media personnels and so that always follow the Prime Minister.
They lie down with him in bed.
The government, they lie down with them. And they should be ashamed of themselves for even, in my view, even boycotting this whole thing.
So here goes Devon. And I write it down because I don't want to forget. The mainstream media, he was given the opportunity, in my view, to ask some relevant questions on Friday, and you fail. You fail the people. You don't get in applause. And that's my view. The first question I had to ask the Prime Minister, why it took you guys 24 hours to come and tell us of something that important? Why 24 hours when you could have do it? Because all of us just come out in meeting like Joseph and Dali last time. You see, all come out in 3 meetings and all come and talk about the Samoa agreement. So that means all could have do it. Although all come and lie on the Samoa agreement, or maybe I don't feel like I couldn't lie. Secondly, what was the reason for not having the press present at the swearing-in? That's another question they could ask on Friday, Devon. Then the big question about the gracious offer. Who offered the gracious offer?
Prime Minister.
What is the gracious offer and how much money is the gracious offer to run? That's another question the media could ask again.
$14,000 to steal?
The media could have asked the question, would sacking Ron cause infighting in the National Democratic Congress? Or is it the fear of what would have been said on Thursday, the media was not invited? What is the state of panic in the government? You mentioned the word run demit. And to demit simply means to resign.
Yeah.
When did Ron, because you say Ron what demit officer. Yeah. So when did Ron offer his letter of resignation? What day? Those are important questions the journalists and the mainstream media should have asked to the Prime Minister and then to Ron. Although Ron song like when you hungry mouth and you beggy and they buy you, just so he song. So maybe the Prime Minister in Parliament in the board is talking out Ron. When I hungry mouth, I could be politician. They go buy you, gracious offer. Gracious offer. When did you submit your resignation, Ron? Because they say you demit office. They didn't say they make you go. But we believe they make you go. But on the balance of probability, based on what you say, and argue that you demit office, when did you send in your letter of resignation? Ron, what is the real reason for you demitting office? You're young, you're bright, you're aggressive, you like fight, you like confusion, like melee. They say you're in Karaku presently. Why there be Jongmin Sorrow planning?
Planning.
What field of study you going and study, Ron? Political science? Because if they say you don't, because what it seems to say you're not ready yet, and if they say you're the future at the National Democratic Congress, but he and the Prime Minister may be same age. So if he's the future, how are you ciphering that?
You know, I want, before you move along, Mr. Kastakal, I want to ask one question. Whose idea was it? Who came up with that idea for Ron to go and study? That's one of the crucial things to ask, because as you said, in Ron's clip, he never even mentioned going and further his studies.
Ron, was it a case of your misdeeds? Because chatters on the street want to know who is the lawyers for Postal Estate. They say once you know who the lawyers for Postal Estate, Ron Kalalo Cook, the Corey Ron Kalalo.
That's interesting.
Ron, was it a case of performance? Ron, was it done because you offered a spot for a container in the tongue of St. George where you have no jurisdiction to give? The letter you give to put the container, chatters on the street say, chatters on the street believe there's information to suggest that you give a letter to a piece of land close to Decal, roundabout.
Same thing now.
Knowing fully well your constituency is not there and it's crown land, like government land.
It is.
Chatters say, the man in question, they say, has a container business selling food. I don't know that chatters on the street say. So these are the questions I think the mainstream media, Devon, lost an opportunity
To ask Ron.
to clear up. Because we can't go and ask Ron that in the capacity Ron come like just like us now. Although you're serving Because you subbing at the pleasure of the Prime Minister see, the Prime Minister make it clear, you know, because the Prime Minister is that fella now. He don't cut corner with them. He tell the union just how it is. He tell the church and them just how it is. And now he tell the media just how it is. And he tell Ron, you could go on story. If you choose to come back, boy, you have to be the Prime Minister to agree. Make Ron know it's not automatic. You know?
I like the scenario you gave me earlier on. 5 plus 3. Wow. You know, it is so interesting that what was done to Ron, and not just Ron, as you rightly said.
And chatters on the street say, Kate, Louis Peters, did a master's while she was a government minister. So this thing they say about Ron, they make you go. Ron, they make you go. But they say they in Kariku, I don't know.
We have a colleague.
Let's take the call.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Carl, Igwe and Mr. Roshan.
Yeah, you sound like a low, speak up.
Yeah. Mr. Carl, what I want to ask this afternoon, the new wage bill, I heard they talk about technician, how to have to pay, the visitor guys, what they have to pay. If the visitor guys and them get up in the morning, 4 and 5, and go and do this job, did they getting paid from what labor say, or them have to make the price?
What labor say?
Okay. If the technician...
However, we're doing a job different from day work. What do you say about the minimum wage or day pay? All right.
Okay. So it goes same to the technician?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would believe.
Okay, let's what I have to ask again. Ms. Thomas have to let the public know who is the person that paying around $14,000. Yeah? And the next one again is Miss Delma Thomas. She has to stop it. Miss Delma Thomas is speaking too much. You see where the Prime Minister put her? You see where he put her? He finds she mad. That's why he put that. And just now, she's going to be out of Parliament. Take it, yes and no. Believe it, yes and no. Bye-bye. Have a good afternoon.
But my thing is, Devon, thank you, caller. A gracious offer was mentioned by Ron. And then we see this continue to be paid the same salary, not by government, by one from inside. So that inside trading.
Yeah.
So Ron, let me hear you on that thing. Ian, I know Ian listening, Devon.
Yeah, you listening.
Ian, sure. 1 plus 9 end up 10. Yes. And there was all this talk out number, 10 number, this number, that. But you realize I never went into that because of the waiting. Because they forget my time go come. Now my time is here. So Ron, tell me about 3 from 10. And tell me how 3 plus 5 go look. I can't do the fella saying how he go look. So that's why they encourage contemplating Ron. With the youth for change?
3 plus 5?
Yeah, what they say. Ron doesn't talk plenty when he did them kind of thing. Because when they went by my partner KB, you see Ron stay quiet. Django, what are you doing all the talking? Django!
Ron very conservative, and so when it comes to the discussion, but you know it's interesting though that it will affect. It started to affect a number of persons, the Youth for Change, because you take away money from Ron, it's all well and good, you know, but the power of being a minister, right? You take that away from him, the influence that he had with his people and his countrymen as a young minister, you take that away from him.
Yeah, you don't know
that is what is hurting. The money is, you can always pay him from it inside, but the power you take away from him. And when you take away that power from him, you also take away the power from Django. You understand? And those around him. And so, you say we have a call?
Yeah, we have a call.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Devon,
Good afternoon, sir.
New Year's greetings to you especially.
Thank you, my brother.
Master Skull and Igwe already.
Same
and
to
I wish
you.
them New Year's greetings. I want to give my little bits and pieces here. I'm a person that like to listen. I like to learn and have a very good understanding and a very good knowledge of political upheaval in any aspect of our country, whether it's the East Minister, West Minister, but generally politics. And I was there from Gary on to now. I have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, I don't know how to term that one yet. I have to come up with a new name, whether it's ugly or bad, but something to suit them. Now, in the press release, there was one individual, a lady asked the Prime Minister about the debarration of the media from being there to record and to take and to ask questions. The Prime Minister said in his words, and I have it unquoted, so I am not making mistake. He said it was a little bit of misunderstanding with the media, and they didn't get the understanding correct. The same lady later on asked him to avoid the misunderstanding in the future. What do you think is best to do? The Prime Minister in his first deliberation said it's a misunderstanding. In his last statement said it wasn't a misunderstanding. It was an act of they didn't get it right. They didn't get it right. So he's saying it was a misunderstanding first and foremost. And secondly, it wasn't a misunderstanding. That is another way of terming what went on. The other aspect of it, gentlemen, and I want to say that, after the swearing in by the Governor General, they said that they did that to facilitate the Governor General travel. No, this is not by chance. They have to make it appear that the Governor General has to travel, so nobody could ask a question whether Ran tender his resignation to the Governor General or not. That's the first place he has to tender his resignation as a Minister of Government. Demit his portfolios as a minister. That's the first place he has to tender his resignation. So before anybody could ask the Governor General any question, she had to be out of state. So acting Prime Minister, acting Governor General, Mr. Tillman Thomas has no clue of that. So nobody can ask him that. This was, look at it carefully, this was perfectly timed and planned. So no questions, no information could go to the public, the general public. And I want to say that.
Well, Carla, let me tell you this. Based on all you say, and based on all the accolades you give yourself 6 months ago, we knew that they going to make Ron go and say he going and study. That don't knew. So all this titivation and shenanigans don't catching me. If he catching you people, that matter of all. 6 months ago, we knew that Ron was offered to go and study. A gracious offer was made to him. So all this thing about the GGN thing is beside the point. Okay. What happened is the budget was a failure. So they want to give the people of Grenada something else to think about and to forget. The budget was a failure. Stay woke. And you and like-minded people of the NNP need to get things ready. So what they're doing or what they don't doing, we go talk about it. But that does not change the price of cocoa, the new National Party has to put itself ready because anything could happen.
I was going to make mention of that in a while, but as you mentioned it, I want to say something. There is a lot of mixed feelings on the ground, and people want hope. People want to know who will climb the ladder or who will pass who on the ladder of the NNP. And this is very important, and people want to know what's going on. And so far, I am not going to speak on anyone's behalf, but I think we all need to know the issues that face with the political situation in Grenada as to the opposition and the present government. If things is not working properly on the present government side, it means the opposition party has to put his act down, his foot down, and climb the ladder so that so that somebody will emerge here on top the ladder to pull up the rest, because the time is appearing very shortly.
All I would say on that, caller, is simply this. The NNP has done this thing before, and I have all confidence, and I always believe the NNP know what to do to be relevant. Good sense will prevail.
I believe that.
All right, caller, so thanks for your contribution. What is the number to call Igwe? Somebody wants to know. Landline.
442-0175.
Yeah, Devon.
There was the last caller mentioned Uncle Tilly, and it what the salt mentioning. Let's take the call. I'll talk about that after.
Hello.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Igwe, good afternoon.
Afternoon,
Master Carl, good afternoon. Master Carl, Igwe, it is, the Minister of Sports, Youth and Sports said that he cannot work with the advisor that was under there when Ron was there.
You hear him say that?
No, I say it's alleged. I didn't hear. Right? It's alleged that no, I didn't hear. I didn't hear that, okay? That he can't work with the two advisors. I don't say himself, but that is your hand on the ground. Alright? Well, that is not important. What is important, Master Carl? I do believe, yes, in all what's going on, we have to encourage people to go get registered. Get registered, go and get registered. It's important to discuss what is going on, but we have to get our people to register. Even those that went out and they didn't vote in the election, we are convinced them to come back in the house. The new voters, we are getting the new voters to register and to register for the party. Yes, we have to speak about the issue and the security of our country. That is very important. I will speak about it. So I am calling upon every one of the NNP supporters that stay away from the last election voting, come back into the house. Come back. I want to see things go right. NNP is a party that give you hope, and give it a hope, and not a hope that you're not sure about. A hope that you know you can put your trust in NNP, because when NNP governance, the country, you have peace and stability, and you never have this infighting within NNP. You never have that. But whenever, which in 2008, and look again in 2008, and I remember one of the things that they asked us before they get a new leader, if he will he like to come back leading the NDC? Say no. How he come back? The young people have to change the attitude. And Master Carl and Evan, the young people, the youth for change. Remember what they used to say to the older heads of NDC? Time to get wheelchairs. And when you check it, brother Dave and Master Carl, this is the same set of people giving trouble. I remember Ran, Tevin, and they had a meeting in Carrico, and they asked them, they say who they went to jail, who they go to jail, and then when they do also, you as a leader, don't say nothing, and covering up when they don't covering up for them, you covering up for them. What do what end up going to happen? The so far bigger and bigger. When it comes to time, you cannot take more.
Yes, caller.
Alright, so bye later. Okay.
The only thing these fellas and I could discuss, caller, which one of them going in jail first? Just for information's sake, before that caller go, and all this talk about story, is my understanding that even Emma Pierre was doing studies or some doctorate when she was a minister. So this whole thing about he had to go and thing, lie. That they are sorry excuse. Watch. Every time I believe the Congress can do worse, they doing it.
They do.
They surprise me every time I say, well, that the worst they could go.
They don't surprise
because after the budget performance, I say they cannot go lower than that. Boom. Just so. And I have another thing for my good friend Ron. Chatters on the street say the man with the container, he can't get water, he can't get light. For the land, the chatters say you give him. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
Evan, Igwe.
Yes, my brother.
But Master
Hey.
Carl, as you said, Master Carl, you, Sheldon, Andre, and others, Jenny, and the classroom, everybody was saying that Ron have to go.
Yes.
But what I noticed, the government only listen to you guys.
Now they react to us, everything we say.
Yes, it's only listen to you guys. I'm going back something here, and I realize only when these people and then speak out. Mr. Pierre speak out about the finance, and the finance minister have to go. Could you remember that?
Yes.
You guys can go back and play the tape. And after that, what happened? The finance minister, Mr. Pierre, said he's traveling too much. He cannot take care of the country. And what go on? He remove himself, and he say he take walks. Well, even though the man in walks have to go, because when you're in walks, you have to be on best. You can't be traveling, but only don't notice something again. For the few months, all they start hitting him about the traveling. You notice he slow down on the traveling?
No, he start to go and don't say nothing.
He slow down on the traveling.
They stop going to the airport and meet him for we to see.
You guys are the mouthpiece. You only could run the government after you guys speaks. Look at what number 10 just did there. Could you believe? They just had a press conference and they hand run the mic. Ron don't tell the people that he's sending resignation.
Ron don't go in and he don't go in and study, so you don't tell people that.
You don't tell it they're going to study. You don't say nothing. The study only come from you guys, because that's what you guys were speaking in 2023. So don't let nobody fool you. That's why the Prime Minister saying the Governor General is so busy that he can't let the press, give the press an air to what's going on in government business. That was an excuse. Was an excuse. And you guys have to pick that up very fast.
But all this,
you did a good job.
Carl, all this thing about studying. I know a police officer who studied in SGU and he didn't have to leave work to study.
Evelyn Pierre, do study. Right in Grenada, Kate Louis Peters, do her study right in Grenada. The world changed now. You sit down in your house or anywhere and you're doing your thing. But Ron didn't tell us he's going to study. Remember that, Canadians. We heard he's going to...
He get a gracious offer, that I tell us.
He's going to get a nice offer.
He say he get a gracious offer. And then we see one of them say,
yes,
if you continue to be paid the same salary, not from government.
But they're going to put a wire on number 10 They're going to put a wire on number 10. Number 10 like to talk a lot. A glad number 10 going on the other side. She's a freelancer. A glad. They can't do nothing there for number 10.
But listen this. A chatter on the street saying that for me. They say 1 plus 9 is 10. They say 3 from 10 is 7. And they say 3 plus 5 is 8. I don't know what that means. So if you could unfold it for me, please do.
Another thing, that's what Devon. I know Devon is put up by Tempe side. And Devon know where they have some mad people up there. And they take number 10. And they find a new place to put her. Go among the sick and the dumb. Go around them. They will put in you. They will put in you. You want money? I will give you money. You like to beg? I will give you money. But go around these people. Everybody talking. I hear a man talking. Oh, she going in the hospital. And let me wish her well. Which hospital she going in? Which one she going? Anyhow, you guys have a good one, man. I'm listening.
All right, my friend. Have a wonderful evening. You know, one of the things that I hope we have a little time that we can examine one or two of the new portfolios that was assigned, right, to the ministers. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. The radio station.
Yes.
I want to find out if there is a university in River Road, because this guy, Mr. Roger, is the same thing. He said he was going to study, so he had to drop off from Potter's. But he never went and studied. He went to pastor a church in River Road. And whether it's not the same kind of spirit that's going on right now.
That is not the same thing. That don't give them no credit. They make her and go. Don't fall for that.
That is what I'm saying.
Don't fall and bring no parallel argument. They make run go, and that is the case. Don't justify what they do.
Right.
They make him go, and they just using tricks.
Yeah.
So don't bring the Rachel who you're talking about was not no minister. He had ministers in the last government. What study was he was minister, so had to go and study. They lie. Don't fall for that. Don't be misled.
All right, color.
And you know they just lie. The thing about it is, you know these people tell a lot of lies. I don't see why they're trying to justify what they're saying. It's just a lie. 6 months ago, we say that on this radio station. They go make Ron go and offer him money to study. Ron say he get a gracious offer. One of them say, if you get the same money and you go and study and not be paid, and they make sure they say not paid by government. But he didn't say government make him a gracious offer, you know. He said the prime minister give him a gracious offer. That is clear as day. There you go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How you all guys doing?
Hey.
Yes, man. Not too bad.
You know, Master Carl, you did ask some very pertinent question and did a good analysis of what that whole situation is about. But before I go into it, I want to remind Grenadians of something I've been emphasizing and which we should never forget in the scheme of things as things are unfolding, is that the contingency fund established by the Commission is what the ability balance the budget, as one might say, so that the extent that we had so much of a surplus that we met a pregnant with a whole lot as a result of the contingency fund that was. They quickly brought it down to 10%. That for economic stability in this country. Do not forget that whenever you are dealing with the whole issue of tax, money is going to come from to that we have here. a dying economy. But the IMF said recently, because the IMF has to come and that book a lot different from how the man who passed an inflating statement said that the economy was doing well. When they go down to it, I don't think it will show up that way. But anyway, right there. Mr. Master Call, question and question, you know. Where you ever see a man so happy?
Hey!
There's a phone of the hook that is making a noise.
Speak.
Where you ever see a man tired and be so happy? Something's wrong somewhere.
The man said he thanked the Prime Minister for a gracious offer. Why are you hearing that? Why do you mean not gracious?
That makes sense. That's the point I'm making, Master Call.
And then one of them clarify.
You never see a man so happy having that time. So here's the problem. We understand the whole issue. Yes. But here the issue very with the media.
The phone.
Yeah, you
phone gone.
You keep drop off.
Yeah, keep dropping. All right, Ego, give us a call back. I have a next call on the landline, Ego.
Before we go to the caller, you see, when I come here, I just had the receipts for what I'm saying. To be gracious is simply this. To be courteous, to be kind, to be pleasant. So the Prime Minister gave him a kind offer. I don't see why all you're beating up and trying to, when the man say clear, because the Prime Minister said before, he do that. If you hungry mouth, and you beggy, you want to be parliamentary and they go buy you, and then the man come and say, the Prime Minister, he thank him for the gracious, the kind offer, and then one of them say, if you get any money, not government paying, you go take it. So you don't know, no, that is so clear. That is crystal clear like 7-Up. Let me take the call.
Lost it. All right, call back.
Now, hold the call. You have some clips on, not that, I want 2 clips before that with Ron, because you see, Ron don't understand, even him don't understand the pressure they put him under, Devon. And I go tell you why. Play the clips on him for me.
Ms. Joseph, I've seen a little bit about you. But Mr. Ron Redhead, where you did? I'm seeing you. I can't hear you. I want to know where. All I'm hearing about is a Willis, a Boca, a this, and I can't hear about Mardi Gras. The only thing I hear about Gurup is the health center. So tell us what's going on. We want to know what's going on, what's happening, what's going to be happening for us.
Residents, if you are not seeing me, it's because I'm working. My responsibility in the cabinet does not entail consistent field visits. I am not Minister Andy Williams, and I am not also the Honorable Tevin Andrews, who is also the minister and MP in his constituency. His ministry is also his constituency, essentially. So they have not so much an unfair advantage, but they are keenly positioned to go out in the community regularly.
You will take a small break and come back.
All right.
You tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, yes again. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over. They unleash their lawyer, set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley. But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw. I don't need to close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle now. Stop fooling the people. The country taking a beating. So my plea are repeating. Go. They're like a natural disaster. Now. 10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas and down on their knees. And I'm begging food. Now we and I did one week. From the side to the country. Streets turn into rivers. detrimental, could be lethal.
Yes, Igwe.
The fact that Ron Redhead would have thanked the Prime Minister for the gracious offer. The fact that on one of the posts, Delma Thomas suggests that if you could get your same salary, not government paying it, and do the thing. No, I want to draw the parallel there, and listen to me. Ron thanked the Prime Minister and his one Prime Minister agreeing that Deacon Mitchell for the gracious offer. So the question the journalists miss, they have to ask Mr. Deacon Mitchell, what is your source of income to give a man a gracious offer? And we didn't know what the gracious offer mean until the comment by Delman Thomas speak out money.
The question of money.
So he begs the question both to Deacon Mitchell and Ron Redhead, what is your source of income? And how does the Integrity Commission speaks to that, Igwe? Because our government, hold on, listen, I want to explain this thing. A government minister say publicly, the Prime Minister give him a gracious offer. We see on social media, somebody quantify the gracious offer by money. And we heard the Prime Minister in the budget debate talk about hungry, beggy, and they could buy you. So we have to consider all these things in the realm of corruption. And the Integrity Commission must act. Because we don't want a gracious offer and so on. And then we hear 1 plus 9 is 10. Then we hear 3 from 10 is 7. And then we hear 3 plus 5 is 8. Let's take the caller.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, fellas, how are you all doing today?
We did.
Well, I want to wish all you. Well, this is the first time.
Don't want to wish us. Wish us.
I'm wishing all you all the best for the new year. A life filled of peace, love, joy, happiness, success. But most of all, I want to wish you all good health and long life and prosperity, because that is important. Health is the most important thing. Where these days, people sleeping on the ground on the mental home. So I hope that Delva, because they said that she is going to take charge of the mental home. So somebody had rang me and I spoke about that on Shaggy program, and I don't care who vexed. They ain't paying my pension. So I could speak, but I have to be responsible because I don't want nobody to sue me. And because it's hurting me and I talk about it. That is a shame. You're all there 18 months. And people have to be sleeping on the floor, on the cold floor, on a blanket, and when it rains, it's wet. And you're mixing drug abuse patients with mental patients. So, Delma, I just hope that is the first thing. If it continues, because I don't know, the person didn't call me back who asked me to make the, to talk about it. And they also talk about a water tank. That either they have problems or they ain't getting. I can't understand. St. George's University just give donations, hubbles. If they can't simply buy just a water tank, they 18 months, or they can buy a water tank. I just hope she address all these issues. But also, I want to zero in on parliamentary behavior. I think I talked about it before. To a certain person, you don't wash political party linens in Parliament. Parliament is not for that. And the other person that talk about the insultive, humiliating, and hurtful remarks allegedly made by somebody on the government side, that's Kixon. Well, Parliament is not for Kixon. Parliament is a place where I've paid people who are elected to serve on my behalf, where the nation's business is conducted, and you have to conduct yourself in a proper manner. Parliament is not a place for Kixon. Furthermore, those kind of remarks that you make, that is not Kixon. That is insulting and derogatory. I can't pronounce the word, but it's insulting and hurtful. And I say again, and I say on other station, if the founder of the new the NDC party, George Brizan, well, that man must be turning in the grave. Because if he was alive, I and Marie know that party had what I call a disciplinary committee. And they would have hauled that person before that committee, and George Brizan would have thrown that person out. Because George Brizan was a poor man. And you cannot be insulting people like that. And then when I talk about it, they find I drag it on too much. But I can't, you can't call people beggy, hungry mouth and mouth at the ground. Are you crazy? You have brought the parliament into this room, and you should resign. You should resign, and I don't care who works. What happened to you?
But with call about with all fairness to the Prime Minister, certain persons on his side in Parliament has proven themselves to be just what he say.
Yeah, but hold on, but stick up in there. I understand what you're
So
saying.
when he speaks about the people that are around him, what he know.
I don't care about that. All I'm saying that you don't refer to people like that, whether it's your people or whether people in general, because he's referring to poor people like that.
Well, we know, we always say on this radio station how they view poor people, so you don't know to us.
That is why that turned me against them, because everybody know I was a big NDC supporter. I don't care. And I am the person that criticizing them most and giving them knock. And it's interesting that one of their supporters saying, only cussing NNP and saying NNP say, not NNP, I, big NDC supporter who put Deacon Mitchell there, who support the party. So you check on yourself when all you're not doing right. I have no apologies for saying these kind of things. And let me just finish zeroing to that one of the same people on the side of government. Parliament is not a comedian place where people go to perform. Parliament is not a place that you're looking as though you're all charged up and ready to fight, and like some warrior. If you want to fight, you see them people in the Gaza Strip, them Palestinians, right now they're looking for help. Go and fight there. You don't have to take it easy, calm down. You don't have to get on like that. All the behavior is terrible. And finally, I just want to say about the Ron. You know something, Ron? You have to be still proud of yourself, because you know what? You was there in the struggle. You was there in the struggle from day one. Where were they? Where were they? It's people like you. I am not upholding what's wrong. You do or whatever the case is. All I'm saying, thank you, Ron. Because if you wasn't wrong, you have a lot of people today would not be who they are. Where were they? You was always there to build the party, support the party. Some people just jumping on a bandwagon. In the world today, you have people
bandwagonists. Bandwagonists?
Yeah, in the world today, not necessarily good. I'm talking about in the world today, you have people jumping on a bandwagon 2 days before election and claiming, all you just come, always like a Johnny come lately. I say that, and I have no apologies for saying that. And it's hurting me to know that he is being treated in that way. And it's thanks to him all you there. Thanks to people like Persuader also. Persuader, when NDC came in, because I could talk and all could challenge me. When Deacon Mitchell came into the party was not looking for a leader, my friend. The party had a leader with Adrian Persuader Thomas. And he had kept the party together going. The party was almost bankrupt. It doesn't have, everybody knows it's not a rich party. When they had put out NDC there was in Mongay, you know who took up NDC and put them for all these years free? Jenny, put it on the pipe and smoke it. Who all you hate is Jenny, thanks to Jenny. And she used to be going on the radio station in WFN and doing all these things.
Yes.
To keep,
Yes.
Who Devon, you start saying yes? Yeah. To keep the party together when people was disappointed. It was she. Where were all you? These all the bandwagoners jumping and carrying on and treating people in that manner and disrespecting my grandmother. Yes, I'm not ashamed to say my great-grandmother, I grew up easy. And you could say I grew up in rich people children, yes.
What? You rich people children?
Yeah, well, you could say that.
So you're one of the privilegians?
But don't keep me in mind for that.
No, I'm just an ordinary audience here.
Yeah. You could say I grew up competent.
You should come to your blessings if you are privilegians here.
Yeah,
I'm vexing you for that.
Yeah, but what
I'm not a commoner.
But what I'm trying to tell you, but if I that grew up easy could say these things, right? Because I think I should tell you, my grandmother My great-grandmother was poor people. Yes, I belong from the South, you know. Yes, I think they want to say that all the time. My great-grandmother was a poor. So when you say this kind of thing, you insult me, Anne-Marie.
All right.
Insult me, and I'm highly annoyed about it. But Ron, I just want to tell you, it's thanks to you, other people who jump on the bandwagon, who they are today. Thanks to people like you, you struggle with nothing. You struggle from day one to build that party. Take what I tell you. I say all these things with no disrespect to anyone or ill will against anyone.
They have to thank Kennedy Woodlall because Ron and Django and them went by him and say we want to form a party. And Kennedy said, what does do all you? Go in NDC and see what all you could do.
At that time.
Yes.
Right, okay, so which means Kennedy also played a role in who that come today.
So Ron and them owe a debt of gratitude and Django and them to Kennedy and Tevin and them.
Yeah, that's okay. So what I'm trying to say, all these people who helped to put some of them that jump on a bandwagon, they have to be thankful because they stand on the shoulders. They stand tall on the shoulders of those who went before. And you know, when you say that thing, they just be vexed. Because, for instance, the constituency of St. David's, everybody knows George Wilson was in that constituency. Everybody knows Persuader. These people that worked to build that constituency, I could tell you, how you call him? Well, he dead now. He dead. He used to have that place in the canal. How you call him again? He worked a lot in that constituency, you know. And then they had people had love let. That constituency was built on a lot of land. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the name not coming to me now, the guy, Hagley. Hagley did a tremendous amount of work in St. David's. All you could play back Hagley for the work he do. All you stand tall on the shoulders of these people who has done tremendous and kept the NDC flag flying in St. David's. I could tell you about that, you know.
Okay, caller.
Come on. About conscience.
All right, caller. Thanks. Right. So, when Ron was behaving unruly in Parliament, Dr. Kit Mitchell said to those fellas and him, by all they should go in a training school and learn. But Alice in Wonderland, the Speaker of the House, don't tell them no. He workers Ron to go astray to him. Because if he didn't nip Ron in the board and say, Ron, pull yourself together. But Ron, I will tell you something now, because I know you is a man, you talk about God already, so you believe in God. I will just tell you something. Let me go to the caller. Ron. They counted on Adam. They counted on Cain. They counted on Judas. So, Ron, the nation counting on you. I know you didn't carry you now. I know you and Youth for Change didn't carry you now. So, the nation counting on you and Youth for Change. Let me see what all you go do.
Let me see what you all made of.
With the ball, with 3 hole and gates, you don't want me to talk to there?
You talk now.
Run with Youth for Change with 3 seats. I had the ball in your hand. I starting to unfold the numbers, you know, Igwe.
Okay.
And there were 3 seats.
Youth for Change of 3
3 plus
seats.
5 could be 8. I'm starting to unfold the thing because I don't want to leave the people baffled before I go, you know.
That's what you mean.
And 3 from 10 is 7. Youth for Change have 3. Now, let me tell you something what happened, Ron. In our neighbor Trinidad, the election tie. There one. Arthur Robinson had Tobago in his hand. Now Arthur joined Pandey, you know. Well, may his soul rest in peace. And Pandey become Prime Minister. They make Arthur Minister of Extraordinary. And then, remember, since in narrow time, Pandey never forgive Arthur. Because every time Arthur go, he put in Carl as acting Prime Minister. The election come back and tie again. You know. Arthur is the president. You know. Arthur give it to Patrick Manning. I'm telling you all that Django for you to understand the language. I don't speak in parable, I'm speaking plain. So, Youth for Change. So when I had to go by Kennedy to form the party Youth for Change, I didn't realize how important I would be in the construct of the government of Grenada. Now is all the time. Now is all the time. I don't have no excuse whatsoever now. They make a play, but they put the ball in all your court. So, Youth for Change, don't fumble the ball in the end zone. Make sure you get the touchdown. Let's take the call.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. My brother left she was referring to when she was speaking to Anne Marie.
Okay, all right.
But I tell you, all of this is Django story, you know. Because there was a time when Ron and Django used to share one lunch, one soft drink.
They still do that.
Amongst them.
They still doing that.
Yeah. During the struggles of the National Democratic Congress. So how did we run now? But they in Carriacou here.
They in Carriacou. Good afternoon.
Django, bring down a bottle of red Carriacou wine for me. Good afternoon, caller.
Butler Jack.
Yeah, good afternoon, caller.
On the WhatsApp, hello.
Good afternoon again, gentlemen.
Go ahead.
That's something here. I'm calling on. It's difficult to have a dialogue on WhatsApp because of the timing of the connection. It's something problem that always show up. It's not like a call on a straight phone. I could talk to you and you could talk to me and we hear each other at the same time.
Make your comments.
Make your comment. Comment. Say what you want to say.
Yeah. Well, that's why. But while I'm talking, Carl, you'll be talking too. So there's some. I'm trying to tell you. Problem. I pointed out to you all a few times already on Mr. P program that there was a of the end period during the lady and that there was a movement called Woke involving two of them I knew was Tevin Andrew and that was the two main men. I used to listen to them on GBN and they were swearing him. I was talking to a good friend. We spoke for over an hour and a half. And I was pointing out that as a significant inside of the NDC and what the situation could be right now. If John is going to be fired, what that could amount to quite an extent. Well, look at it on about the mathematics, Mr. Clark. So here is the problem. And okay, and at the same time you're talking about he's in Carriacou. I'm not surprised. There's a problem. The minister hangs as a sword of Damocles. Guys said I've mentioned it over and over. I hope people understand what the sword of Damocles is. That anytime these guys are about to try to do anything, I'm going to strike them like a whip, or with a sword. The man has a sharp-edged sword. He hangs over the head of Tevin Andrews right now to the extent that Tevin Andrews would not. If there is a rebellious movement side, not there. I could guarantee all that, given the situation. Tevin Andrews is cornered. Ron is fired, that's a matter of fact. There's saying about that. We're going to read about the country. And even if you leave the country, here's a problem. If you miss a certain amount of parliamentary, in the country, no, he's still a representative of the constituency. So the question of leaving the country and go and study in Trinidad or maybe Barbados or Jamaica or in the UAE or some other campus throughout the world, that wouldn't happen. He's going to be right here, period. And he could do it without being fired from a minute. Like you all pointed out, how much other people who are ministers like Kate and Miss P and so on, and that has been normal for the past 3 years, online, and you get your degree. So this whole issue about Ron being one-to-one study, and then you have to let him off history. That's nonsense. But in the process, if there's going to be a rebellious movement within, remember that Tevin Andrews is already cornered. Ron is here you have a problem. Take care, gentlemen.
With two queens, two jokers, 2 jack and 1 ace, that can make a hand.
Inconsistent.
So they forcing me hand. Now I play the clips they will run just to realize how they mess up Ron. Ron excuse used to be when the people say we don't see you, how he busy walking. Ron, you don't walking now. So when they don't see you, what you go say? Ron, you don't realize what they do you. So as you dey encourage now with the youth for change people, I expect you guys to strike the balance for every action. There should be a reaction. So I already up in Carrico up there now, having a good time, planning.
Very interesting too though. Over the years, I've been, as a former member of NDC, I've been always letting persons, even the NDC, know some of the things that this party is capable of doing. Right? They eat the young. They like rabbits and
serpent
and everything. Rabbit does that too.
Yeah, but serpent more pronounced. They go down so as they finish, they turn back.
Anyhow, they that is what they does. When they get you to where they want, they use you and then they spit you out. Right? This is what is going on with Ron at this point in time. Now, Ron put together the amount of years that he has been in NDC is more than a lot of them, together. He has contributed towards the development of NDC over the years. But this is a treatment that you get when the party is in office and they want to please, right, persons in the higher class or persons who have never contributed, right? And the end result of it, the persons who have sacrificed, who have been in the rain, who have been all over ensuring that the party gets into office, they are the ones right now that is cast out. Ron, you are an example, right, of what NDC is capable of doing to its closest persons around him. That's just another, just rehashing it. So it's a warning, but it come to pass again. They cannot help themselves but to destroy, especially the persons in the lower class. They never like to hear that. The poor and vulnerable persons who rise from the ranks and get up there. They figure, no, power is not for you. They have stripped you from money that you need, and they have stripped you from power of being a minister, the influence that you have. Good afternoon and welcome.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my friend. Good
afternoon, Master Carl. Yeah. Very on my position, I have no qualms. Somebody want to go on further education and study or do whatever that you do to import. Very clear. But what I will say, the excuses that we're hearing and the explanations given, right? If I was better to run with it, I would have resigned from that party entirely and resigned from being an MP entirely. Because this gentleman would have come into politics as he's demoted as a minister. So which means that the NDC party would have known of his educational background, likewise the no prime minister. So why the level of hypocrisy now? This is what I cannot take with this present prime minister. And rightly so. There was a caller that mentioned about what the prime minister said in the press conference concerning the media not being inside it. And I thought I alone picked that up because this gentleman will be saying things, and then he come back and say another thing in the same press conference, and people didn't pick it up. Even Honorable Telesford was trying to say, well, all the ministers was not there at the time or something like that, which is a lie. These men blatantly lying for us in open air and real time. Why? And then you're hearing all kind of people say that, oh, they didn't know people so interested in seeing ministers being sworn in. You have somebody across the floor, right? This is about the third time or the fourth time it happening in history. So obviously the media will be interested, the nation will be interested to see what portfolio is given. These are things that is a nation business, it's not a party business, is a nation's business. So they have to separate government from party events. And I see what is happening right now. And what happened there last week, Thursday and Friday, if Grenadians do not look at it very seriously, things like this will continue to happen, and we will say nothing, and they'll just ride over us. But before I go, once again, I'm saying, these members that want to go and study, who wants to study, they can do that online. You don't need to leave your house to study. You don't need to leave your job to study. You can do it while you're working. So I don't know what is the rationale they're trying to put, but I ain't buying it. And like you and Master Carl rightly noted out, that Youth for Change, that so-called Youth for Change movement, you have seen what they have done to one of the colleague who was very vocal on their part. That young lady was not even looked upon. She wasn't even considered. And she was frowned upon by the so-called leader of the so-called Youth for Change movement for expressing her views. That's how nasty and dangerous these people are. So I'm telling them, this NDC party continue making history. They get beaten 3 times, 15-0 by the NMP. Anytime they're in office, they fall apart. So they continue making history. So there's nothing new to me, and I will not be surprised what is the next move. But you fellas, have a good afternoon.
All right, my friend. It is a very interesting scenario, and as we pay attention, right, to the development and so, I mean, it is very important for persons to share their views and so express themselves. You know, we need to let the people know what is going on in our country, right? We cannot allow NDC to continue to get away with lies upon lies upon lies, right? And make excuses for some of the wicked and evil things that they continue to do, right? And it starts from the Prime Minister come down. He continues to lie and make excuses for those lies. When is he going to stop? And it's contagious because you find the other ministers continue to do it. Now, poor Ron have been stripped of his money and has been stripped of the power. But we still await where is his money coming from.
And Ron has been stripped of his manhood.
Of his manhood also.
Youth for Change.
His manhood.
So now here what I do, Ron, I tell all the little children I know the world coming to an end, so give their life to Christ. Because this thing, when you see these things, lift up your head, redemption. Joy at night.
We have a call.
Yes, take it.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, good afternoon.
And how are you guys doing?
Oh, we're fine.
Well, the people say, how give them one chance? You only have chance they ask for. They say they're young, give them a chance. Kit Michelle tell them they have to go in a class and learn before they come and run the thing. You know, you can't just come and govern. Governing and managing is two different. They say give them a chance, so we give them a chance. What do we got a chance doing? We have eyes to see, and as I said, many of us into this thing for a very long time. Another thing again I want to say, NDC have a record. After 2 years, they decide to sift. So sifting time even start even before 2 years go. So let's watch and wait. Let's see who next is sifting. Because trust me, the Youth for Change won't sit down just so. Have a good day, Bert.
All right, have a good day. Youth for Change.
Youth!
Ron, who in the Youth for Change is willing to stand up for you after the Prime Minister has fired you? And the Prime Minister lying. He fire you and he say how that you demit office, meaning you resign. Ron, did you resign? I mean, we really want to know. Right? We really want to know, because excuse upon excuses, and so to cover up lies. I mean, come on, that doesn't make any sense. We've seen right through these guys, you know? Never a dull moment.
My advice to Ron is simply this. Pull yourself together. If you have to cry long tears, cry.
And you have a shoulder.
Pull yourself together and then be a man.
Be a man. Regain your manhood.
I'm always available, Ron, to offer some solace.
Yes.
Seek me out.
Yeah. And Ron, you know you have a...
Django know where I live in.
Yeah. You know you have a brother in me, a former neighbor and everything in me. You can call and you have a shoulder to lean on. I have the rag there resting on my shoulder for the tears to run down. I'll dry it up for you.
All right. You call?
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my friend.
And Happy New Year to all listeners.
Happy New Year.
I have one little... Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we hear you, Claire.
Hello? Right. So I have some concern. I've been passing through Telescope yesterday, and I'm noticing outside the coffee shop, school, I should say, the coffee plant, there is some erected pillars. It appears to me that that will be the new location of the school.
The Anglican school.
And I'm seeing it as it's a real crampy area. And looking at the structure in Progress Park will be removed from that location and set in that new location. I don't know how it really fits with the general public. So I want to know what is your comment on that, please.
Well, what I can say about that, the little information that I have on that issue is that where they relocated part of the school to Telescope, it is now a decision was made that to remove one or two of the buildings in Progress Park and erect it in Telescope to accommodate the entire school and so on. They have begun that process from Progress Park, removing those things, and so I don't know how that will pan out. There are a lot of difficulties that we can spell out with that, but we will leave that for another day.
Chatters say they are crazy plan.
It is a crazy plan. There's a lot of things that we'll find out after. Good afternoon and welcome.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Under all the talk about Ron, I was listening to the program, I'm hearing everything about Ron and Ron. My greatest concern now is the gunshots that are being fired in the St. George's area. All year's night, gunshots. Saturday night, gunshots all over the place. Nothing. What's going on?
Yeah, that's a salient point. And I'll tell you this. You had an opportunity to listen to Parliament during the budget debate?
No, I didn't.
No. And get a clip, gets where the Prime Minister talk about the fireman thing. Now the Prime Minister told the nation that if one was listening and statistics would have think that was just a matter of time for the gun thing to reach in the country, but he said he being the Minister of National Security, that had nothing to do with him. So as a matter of fact, there is no plan. However, if you listen this radio station here, for a long time we spoke about that as it relates to the RGPF, and much people didn't take credence to what we're saying, because at the end of the day, people only believe in melee. And what we simply say was this, that the administration was moving too much people with the know-how and the knowledge in position with a lot of ground contacts and relationship with people in the community who will give them information. And now all of the informants and so on have lost because they remove people because they're thinking out who green and who yellow, forgetting the bigger price about the safety of the nation. So we don't glad, but we offer not only criticism but advice. We see are moving too much people in critical position who have already have informants and so on, an influx of information. Now they didn't listen to us. It's all about some people, they just go and take over food jars since after election. The inexperience, they don't have to take to know. So they just moving people saying who green and who yellow. And now we see in the poll because we don't get in the information because people don't give in those people now. It's sad. But our advice is to restructure and reorganize.
I hope something will be done.
Yeah, I hope so.
Thank you.
All right.
From the time I've been in office, I've been saying this. Not because I have premonition, Mr. Speaker, because it is clear the trend is obvious. Anybody who's reading the statistics on crime in the Caribbean will see that gun crime is a pandemic in the region, and that it was just going to be a matter of time before it reached our shores. That has nothing to do with the Prime Minister who holds the position of Minister of National Security. It has to do with...
That is simply a result of breaking up the RGPF. But we want them here, therefore, not to interfere and mash up the RGPF. But they didn't listen. They say Master Carl just making noise and he running him out. Now these things that are happening is a direct result of the mashing up of the police force.
They're destroying the institution.
And we talk about that, we advise them what to do. We advise them who not to put in position and who they should return to position, but they didn't listen to us because they know all. The minister, the man that advising the Minister of National Security, they know all. The worst commissioner that ever passed.
Waste of time.
You think?
You know what?
Your colleague?
No. I've been reliably informed that the present state of the new recruits that have been brought into the police and trained, they are being trained insufficient for the job.
Yeah.
4 weeks and 6 weeks and so on, and then put out.
And how long you train for?
And there's a serious concern.
When you was in the police, how long you train for?
7 months.
Yeah,
7 months.
there are serious concerns by even senior members of the police force and members of our public that are concerned, right, of what is going on with our police force. How can you take recruits after
children?
After 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and put them out on the street to interact with the public? Not proper training, what is going on?
You want me to answer that?
I you would like for you to answer that.
They're trying to punish Tafawa peer. Because he in charge of training school.
Oh.
So when anything go wrong, they say Tafawa peer will do it.
Oh, so that is why.
But listen this, Devon. Look at the hierarchy of the police force. Because when I come here, I tell you there's a receipt for everything I say. The commissioner, not an investigator, he don't have no intelligence thing about him. The king's son, deputy, he not an investigator, he don't have no intelligence thing about him. The ACPs, one was a prosecutor, but the rest is not no investigators. The break-up phone one by the past year, not a intelligence gatherer. So you don't have nobody in the RGPF what is either a top investigator or a man with intelligence so to advise the police. So that a result of what's happening.
Yeah, and then you have an ex-commissioner who's the advisor.
He's not a top investigator.
He's not.
Neither an intelligence man. I tell you anything I come here, I have receipts for it. Who want to have file there, I file. I have receipts for what I say. So go, if I don't believe me, and check from the commissioner down, the commissioner, the deputy, and the ACPs, and tell me which one is a top investigator or an intelligent expert. You don't have to take my Sakal word for it. Just go and check it.
They are deliberately trying to destroy that.
When the Prime Minister say, he know he coming, but I nothing to do with he. And then the police force don't have what it takes at the head. Chew pool, like kakakoko, when you boil oil, you have to chew the kakakoko. That's going on up there.
Chew pool.
So, when we come here and we speak, we don't just speak because we give them advice. We say, all should not remove Tafawa pay up there. Oh, his wife is opposition. They don't want him. So they bring men, voice note, investigation come in, mash up phone, woman gone and thing. And that the kind of people they have. Those what never do nothing. They walking in place, promotion after promotion, nobody they don't get in. A man what was in the prison, and the people I'm in St. Vincent will tell you about the connection here and the prison. But them they have in charge. And they expect the thing to go. But insanity, Devon, is when you're doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. Yeah. So what happened with the RGPF and the Minister of National Security and the advisor to the Minister of National Security is doing the same thing and expecting different results. And trying to exonerate yourself, taking out yourself. Use the Minister of National Security, you know gun crime will come, but you're saying that has nothing to do with you. You ever hear nonsense and stupidness so? And no man jack around this guy, you tell him, by you talking too much of stupidness, you must stop that. I always telling them here, when Nathan went to King David and he said, watch, a man have 100 vineyard and a man have one, he kill him and take it. David says, show me that man, let me kill him. Nathan says, you. So just go and tell him that. You don't have to go and fight with him. Just say that because you have a Christian around him. They could tell him that. But no Christian. Gracious offer.
Like Christian.
You're making people gracious offer.
At this I want to say good afternoon to the people, the lovely people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique at this point in time. Those of you who are listening, Senator the Honorable Nolan Cox, right? Good afternoon to you and your family, and to all the other listeners, including the parliamentary representative. Look how I'm forgetting in there, Brother Tevin Andrews.
I'll be minister to Ron and Django.
Yes, Brother Tevin Andrews. The former Minister of Youth and Sport, Brother Ron and Django. I understand that you guys having some fun in Carriacou. Blessed evening to you. And we hope that you listening to the program attentively and take our advice.
But the other thing about it is, Devon, I have a concern.
A concern.
Yeah, because we're hearing about this gunshot on the carnage.
And a lot of guns.
That's
serious.
But the Prime Minister, nor the Commissioner of Police, take 60 years today based on information. After every 60 years, the information to suggest another 6 months was offered to him, but the information revealed that he don't take it on. So from tomorrow, I don't know what happened. I tell you, the problem, they mash up the RGPF there, Van.
Yes,
and people like say, oh, you like to talk about the police because police is security. Without security, Devon,
nothing.
The Corey we call hello.
Yeah, they have destroyed for the last 18 months. They have deliberately destroyed the functioning of that particular institution, right? By putting persons who are not capable and qualified to hold senior position to move that force forward, right? I'm looking at what in particular they are doing to Superintendent Tafawa Pierre, right? And so the most qualified person that we have in the RGPF at this point in time, look at how they are treating him. There are a lot of other superintendents and ASPs and so who have been put on the sideline because it is alleged that they supported the Green Party or whatever. But that's their business. They are doing the job that they take the oath to do, to secure this country, serve and protect. Please give them an opportunity to do their job.
And what's so strange about it is, the area the gunshot is allegedly was heard. They say police headquarters going there just in a matter of timing.
Right around there. They're right around there.
So I don't know if they were going to clean their nose, right?
I guess they go use that opportunity to clean up around where the gunshot was fired, allegedly fired. You know, so
But my one advice to Ron and Django: intoxication leads to hallucination, which leads to fabrication, often result in taking the wrong direction. That is my advice for you guys.
5 + 3 = 8.
My representative, chatters on the street say it was always be in that area there on the car.
Always be in that area.
So
right
find out all the guns.
Yeah, he was sleeping
Mr.
there.
Conwell, find out all the guns because they say it was be there all the time. I don't know. I never see you there.
I understand.
But chatters on the street say he's a regular person to that area. So do some intelligence and find out all the guns. Let me get the guns off the street.
It's amazing that, you know, when we sit and watch what is going on to our country, so many things
They say
going
guns and ammunition. Chatter say was found in Telescope Friday.
Telescope too?
A chatter say guns and ammunition was found in Telescope. I don't know. So, Mr. Prime Minister, you still saying that had nothing to do with you? Play the clip again, Igwe, because I want people to hear what he say. I don't want them to feel are giving misinformation. Play what the Prime Minister say for me.
From the time I've been in office, I've been saying this. Not because I have premonition, Mr. Speaker, because it is clear the trend is obvious.
You don't do
Anybody
nothing,
who's reading
only
the
saying.
statistics on crime in the Caribbean will see that gun crime is a pandemic in the region. And that it was just going to be a matter of time before it reached our shores. That has nothing to do with the Prime Minister who holds the position of Minister of National Security. It has to do with...
But the Prime Minister know and he don't do nothing.
Minister of National Security and does nothing. You see, but
this thing, the man, the Prime Minister of Greater Carrico and Pitimatic agree and told the nation that he know was just a matter of time for the gun thing to reach here. But with all that knowledge, he did nothing.
But you see, he couldn't do anything because after he dismantled the RGPF, the persons who had the experience, the persons who had the information, right, the intelligence of what was going on for the last couple of years, they knew the pattern, so they knew what they had to do. But when you get into office, what you did, you remove those persons, so you cannot get those expert advice as to how to deal, right, with the gun situation and other crimes in our country. That is a mistake that you made.
I go ask this question. Deacon Mitchell, what track record does he have in crime fighting? Whelan Thompson, what record does he have in crime fighting? Don Mackenzie, what record does he have in crime fighting? Jesman Prince, what record does he have in crime fighting? Randy Cannot, what record does he have in crime fighting? Vanny Cohen, what record does he have in crime fighting? John Charles, the one by the pastor, what record does he have in crime fighting? And when this question is being answered, you go realize the type of tata, the type of mess we did.
Serious.
That is why the Prime Minister could afford to say that has nothing to do with him, and nobody in the RGPF will call him and say, sir, you make an error, you shouldn't say that.
As a Minister of National Security.
You're saying you know the thing, it's just a matter of time to reach here. But if you know where it was, why didn't call your counterparts and ask them, but how are you dealing with this thing? This thing never already. And it's a matter of time for it to reach by me, so let me get a head start. But you go in Parliament and see that and not.
But and it's a blame game too, because that's directly where he did not take responsibility. He showed the responsibility on those senior police officers and the RGPF, right? He take away himself as the leader, as a head man in security, right? So I'm watching to see how the members of the RGPF move forward, right, when dealing with these situations, because you have the head of your organization, which happens to be a prime minister, basically taking away blame from himself as to what is going on.
But I know why they're doing that, you know. And they're going to tell you those are receipts, you know. They're doing that so when they bring in a foreign commissioner, they will be justified. They say them here couldn't get it done.
They couldn't get it done.
So like the receipt, I have receipt for it. Not files, are receipts. They have the receipt. So when they bring in the foreign commissioner, maybe the one from St. Kitts, and people go talk out, they go say, well, them did it down and they couldn't do nothing. So Vanny did already rate all you. I just beating up all you, had a moment of glory already. They will bring a man to be over all you.
That would be
because when the man take 60 years today, anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
And none of all, they don't want all you.
I'm wondering who would be acting at this point in time.
Maybe the man by the pasture, they say, I don't know if it's true.
Wow. More mess.
But it's a matter of concern.
Yeah. Serious concern.
It's a matter of concern.
You know, and the intention of bringing in a foreign commissioner of police, that is unprecedented. That haven't happened in Grenada, based on my information. That have never happened since post-independence.
So Devon, let's look at the appointment because you mentioned it earlier.
Yes, let's take a look at the appointments.
Gloria Thomas. Gates, you have to have a clip with Miss Thomas for me, you know. Miss Thomas was in a meeting and she claimed that he worked hard.
Why the Prime Minister do?
But they give him full responsibility. You play it?
Play it?
Yeah.
Every time you hear the word seed.
And every time you hear the word seed, it creates a buzz on the island. I don't know why they can put me in this ministry, you know.
I don't want more. So, that's her own words.
Own words.
She says she don't know why he put her there. What they upgrade her?
They upgrade, they give her housing.
Not only housing, they give her, she's a full, she's not a junior minister now.
A full-fledged minister.
She admits to the public, but I don't know why Deacon, and she didn't even say the Prime Minister.
No, Deacon.
See, I don't know why Deacon give me that. So
today.
So that what I tell you, Dev, and I receipt, so what I say when I speak out incompetence, I don't just saying that because I know the word.
And inconsistency.
She said so. Let me take the card.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Master Carl, Dev and agree.
Yes.
No, that clip you all play there, eh? I just can't understand. So what the Prime Minister say, like, you are the head of your home, and things go down in your home, and you're not responsible for it. When you know what is going on, the things that are going on in your home, and you're trying to put things in place to deal with the situation, and you don't want to take blame. Who are the guy blame? You are the one in charge of the country as the Prime Minister, and make it worse again. You are the Minister of National Security, and you know definitely the gun crime in the Caribbean is a pandemic. Right? I know whenever something happens in the Caribbean, you don't take a 4, 5, 6 days break up. It will come within a day or within 2 days you are arriving Grenada. So what you have to do, you have to put things in place. You have to put things in place. It's just like I said, if you hear about a disaster coming to Grenada, you can't leave it and want to go and put things in place when the weather is here. You have to put things in place when things have to deal with it. So he's responsible.
It's important. The Prime Minister have never take responsibility for anything in the last 18 months. Never.
So why? And why? And you say he's a man, a professional, and he's suffering with distinction.
He's a hypocrite.
He's suffering with distinction. And you want to take responsibility for all your fail and I shall come in. Well, I shall. Devon, have a blessing.
So Devon, so listen this, A.J. Williams, you know that guy?
Yes.
The one that say our original ideas.
Yes.
The one they say what admit to wrongdoing in a church. Not me.
He had his word.
He admitted.
He admitted.
He say, what is my take on cabinet reshuffle? He write that in 2020 on the 13th of September. Because you see the electronical footprint doesn't disappear.
No.
All right. Answer. One day the CEO of Sandals decide to put the marketing manager in charge of maintenance, chief in charge of office, accountant in charge of kitchen, etc. With each one having no experience in their respective field, he then goes on. He then goes away thinking he has done a good job. This is cabinet reshuffle for you. Case in point, Nicholas Steele was in charge of health. What qualification does Steele have in the area to convince you that he knows anything about health? Imagine Mr. Steele has to go to represent Grenada in a health fair. What meaningful contribution could he make with no experience in health? We are putting people to run ministries with no experience or qualification in that field. Will Sanders put the maintenance manager to run the kitchen tomorrow? Is this the time? It is time to change this system and select individuals who are qualified to run the various ministries. Andy, what qualification does Gloria Thomas have in housing? Because you what raise it out qualification. So if she goes on a housing symposium, what could she add to the discussion? Because that you're taking. That you write under my take. Lennox Andrew, agriculture. What experience Lennox have in agriculture? Because you ask about qualifying experience. Andy, what experience you have in implementation? What experience does Mr. Telesworth? So I go read something. I will take part of what you see by adoption. Imagine Mr. Telesford goes to represent Grenada in a health fair. What meaningful contribution can he make with no experience in health? Andy. But the one that nearly forced me into death, Delma Thomas, Minister of Mental Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs with responsibility for Monge Hospital. Congratulations I present to you, Miss Delma Thomas, on your achievement. Rule diligent and brave. Don't worry what them rude girls I'm going to tell you. Don't let them call you 3 o'clock and talk rudeness. Don't drink Paco water and Barbandi. But your constituents singing a song. They say you jump NNP. That's what they tell me. You jump NNP sheep, heartless without pain. So they tell Deacon, watch you. You might just jump sheep again. Now, Devon, when you're in a particular ministry, because her ministry basically come under the Ministry of Health.
Yes.
You see, Telesford is only for health. But she has thing, but with responsibility for. So let me break down that now.
Special response.
Hold on, let me break down that now. When the last NNP was there, Kate Lewis was in the Prime Minister's ministry with responsibility for youth. So she was the Minister of Youth. Not because information and national security and economy Prime Minister. She wasn't that. She was youth because she had responsibility for youth. So she was the youth minister. I going back to as far as Sheldon Scott was in the Prime Minister's ministry with responsibility for information. He wasn't the Minister of National Security. So, with Miss Delma Thomas, with responsibility for Monge Hospital, does it mean she's the Minister of Monge Hospital? I don't know, because somebody had to explain that to me. So somebody got bright outside there, because I don't. Call me and tell me what does it mean with responsibility for. Because in other times, when was responsibility for, the person became the Minister for Youth or for Information or for National Security, like in days of Einstein, Louisiana and them. He was in the Prime Minister's ministry, but he had special responsibility for national security. So he was the National Security Minister. So, with his responsibility for. And with her, I'm not doubting her capability, you know. Because she made an impact in the last government in the Ministry of Health and Hospital Services. So it is a wise move to put her in that area. But the wording, with responsibility for Monge Hospital, does it mean that the only thing she has to do? I don't know.
You say for, but it's not special responsibility.
I only write in what I only put in what they write. I like parang I don't add into us. Just like when you're reading the Bible, you don't have to add, you don't have to take out. How are reading it just so they put it out.
The Prime Minister in his press conference,
yes,
right, did say with special responsibility.
Well, that compounds it more.
Like that's why I brought it up. The special responsibility for mental health. And I'm held about Monge Hospital. Special responsibility. So that tells you the head of the Prime Minister.
I don't know. I don't suggest in this guy because he don't lie.
He lies too much.
Jonathan Nackert.
Yes.
What experience here in youth?
Youth.
Give me that clip with youth there. Let's see the call.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to Master Carl. Good afternoon to Devon.
You good? Hey.
Good afternoon to all the Grenadian people. I just listening to you.
Good afternoon, Kami.
Well, if they put the lady is responsible for the people in Mongi, that means she has to make sure that the patients there get a medication, because the last time I see the people was demonstrating outside.
No, she go fix it.
She had to get a tablet for my friend and them days.
She go fix it.
And see that the people get a bed. They don't have to lie down on the floor.
I'm all confident she go fix it.
They put why they put her there?
Now, remember, in the last government, she did us a good job in health. So, we can't forget it.
Well, I don't understand what's going on. Well, Mr. Racket was again.
Oui.
Mr. Racket was a principal all the
Lycrat?
years in the school in Appeal. Why they put that man in sports? They could have given something else. Well, that's good for these people and them, you know. That's good for these people and them. I don't sorry for them. I don't sorry for
No sports, just games.
Yes, because he been in parliament and he done a chair spinning wrong and disrespecting Dr. Mitchell and telling people shut up. You see what happening to them now? It's not nice.
What they doing on the chair? They spinning around?
He done the chair and still on
And it's spinning around?
Well, yes.
So he get giddy.
Yeah, and telling him to shut up.
So when you spin around too much, you don't get giddy.
No respect whatsoever. I want to know how they're feeling now. Everybody talking. Already you pass, you go in the shop, everybody talking about Ron. The disrespect to the father of the house. Dr. Mitchell deserve. Dr. Mitchell deserve the respect. They don't give him man nothing for what he do in this country. Like he didn't do nothing for Grenadian folks. We're telling you, a lot of us are ungrateful, you know. He's very ungrateful. That man worked so hard and build this country and the rest of Grenadians. And they have no respect. I'm not sorry for them. And I don't want them to say, Dickie Mitchell is the right man for these people. He's the right man. And just one by one. And they're watching the lady, no matter how they don't call her. I want to call she name. They're watching her, the members, and then they're watching her. They're watching her very close. You understand? They don't like her in there. I'm not sorry for these people. These people didn't start to work yet, Master Carl. And these people take money. They take away old people money. And they start to send home people. Why are you sending home Grenadians? You could have moved them from where they is. You could find that position or stoop things for them and put them somewhere that they make the dollar to feed their family. So I am not sorry for them. I'm not sorry for what they do to none of them. And Dickie Mitchell, as the Prime Minister, go move some of them again just now. Wait. Mark my word to this. Mark my word. You deal with them. The body now, he pray them, you deal with them.
All right,
and
Cams.
deal with them, Mr. Dick. Don't pray.
All right, Cams.
Have a good evening, Grenada.
I chat on the street, just say there, man. And they had no original ideas, neither any qualifications, so they had to make the MIT ministry for him. I don't know.
Yeah,
I chat what say that. So, youth! Let's take the call.
Good afternoon. Hello?
Hey, good afternoon, Devon.
Yes, my brother.
And good afternoon. Hey, Carl, Happy New Year to you guys. Igwe, Happy New Year to everybody, boy.
Blessed.
I have a... Yeah. My question is to, Carl, I don't know if you guys could find out for me, because the way I know it's done, that when you're bringing in a specialist in the department to make it, and you really want to make changes, they also offer residents, meaning that they offer you that you can stay on the compound so that you can focus 24/7 and so that you could be effective. So I'm wondering if you guys could find out if they are offering room at the residence for the new minister of the Mongay Hospital. Thank you very much.
People listening,
So
they go answer.
Yeah, you definitely will get your answer.
So that way she could focus and be effective. Thank you very much, man.
All right, my brother. One love. Youth for change.
Hey, let me give you youth.
An NDC government will ensure that youth in agriculture and fisheries, youth in diplomacy and diplomatic affairs, youth in sport, medicine, and sport leadership, youth in every division of every area and sector of government will be visible at every level of our political structure.
From my heart, I tell you,
Black man, all you look for that. Why on earth black man always want that kickstart? Black man, all you look for that.
But the man campaigned for his ministry, you know. You realize that? The
man
campaigned hard for that ministry, youth and
The man
sport.
is youth.
He campaigned hard. I don't know why Deacon didn't
So we
give
go
him that
see
all the
we go
time.
see youth in agriculture. Youth at every level.
Youth
So
in
we look forward
diplomacy.
to seeing a lot of youth
in
get it
diplomacy.
now. But Gates are relying on you for this one. I don't know much about this guy, Queen's Britain.
Yes.
He's a deputy minister, junior minister, what you call him. Is it they just bring him to give him some money? Or what he has in tourism? I don't know because you see, I don't want to judge him wrongly.
And culture. I don't know.
What experience or specialty he have in those fields? Gates, you know him. I just sit down and drink adult beverage together. Tell me something.
A man them is opportunist.
Because you and this guy just sit down and drink adult beverage.
Who in Victoria? Those that was in tourism already. Who is the minister of tourism in Victoria?
Because
what was pass?
Because chatters
right, his rivalry are going on.
Because chatters on the streets.
I could do it better than that.
Because chatters on the street say he like to beat and teach.
So I hear.
So I don't know if he go beat and teach in
Beat and teach or teach and beat? Which one?
Beat and teach.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
beat
what
force and then teach.
I want to be clear.
Beat and teach. I hope you don't use a long hair, man. I hope you don't beat and teach.
I hope you don't beat and teach too, you know. Hair long, you know, Devon.
David Andrew.
Wow, Minister of Education.
So I mean, they give him the full ministry.
Yeah, they give him the full
Queen's
full hog.
conflict,
You don't have to worry about youth and sport. And again.
Not youth.
Yeah, youth. You don't have to worry about that.
But the thing, Adrian, you know, I say they would have given Adrian labor and culture. Because that is strong suit, he's a writer to Calypso.
Yeah.
Even tell them what Dan Mackenzie compelled to leave a cell for Michelle. He have a song so you know. Yeah. Like he and Dan Mackenzie are tight.
But you see, the whole question of the labor ministry, there's a bitter fight for that to control that labor ministry by the present minister.
So
you know,
based on and I'm going on what Andy saying about qualification, putting people with experience and qualification. So he had experience and qualification, we could say in culture to a bit
labor.
And labor. But tourism. So Andy, if Persuader goes to represent Grenada in a tourism fair, what meaningful contribution will he make with no experience in tourism? Because that's the question Andy said to ask. So that I want to tell you is this whole reshuffle is a white elephant.
It is.
And it does not address cost of living. And it only adds pain on the backs of the taxpayers. Because more money has to be paid to these fellas and them for doing nothing. Devon, more come the end of this month. A lot of more $1,000 from the coffers
had to
be spent on these fellas and them for doing nothing.
And
my friend Poran, they snort out.
They take away $9,000.
They snort it out.
Yeah.
If Randy trouble now, they could lock him up. You know?
And talking about money and who's being paid, I'm understanding Chatters on the Street has reliably informed me that the new CTO in the Ministry of Infrastructure has not been paid for the last 3 or 4 months. Mr. Arlene Walker, good afternoon to you, sir. I think as a firm member of NDC, you should find out what's going on with your son.
A chatter on the street tell me to say good afternoon to Sylvester Collins. Good afternoon, Mr. Sylvester Collins.
Yes, good afternoon.
One of the persons
my former MP.
One of the persons who are listening to the program said to tell you good afternoon.
Yeah, former MP.
And they say they hope everything will be okay with you. I don't know what they mean by that.
Yes,
this one a parang it, how I buy it, so I sell it.
Yeah, I can't
that one a
use
parang. Yeah, that one a parang.
Yeah, how I buy it, so I sell. I don't say nothing.
I don't take in part in that one.
I only say what they say.
Yes.
What the chatter on the street say.
That one a parang.
What I know of Mr. Collins is a very shrewd businessman. Right? Not a politician, but a very shrewd businessman. That's all I can say, but he a parang in that one.
They like parenting.
You know, so looking at it all in all, the reshuffle in my view was that somebody within the ruling organization take a pack of cards, heave it up in the air, and whatever fall on the ground and turn up, the joker, the everything, then that's who fell and went into cabinet. Because, I mean, you have no structure, you have no, I mean, look at, for example, the Minister of Health, Mr. Telesford, Honorable Telesford. Right? I mean, what does, as you rightly said, Master Carl, what does he bring to the health? He was, I mean, I never knew he was a manager of any sort. I know he's an accountant. Right? And so I cannot understand. And the comparison that Mr. AJ made, and so is... But life goes on. Life goes on. Never a dull moment in our country.
Never
right?
a dull moment.
And
we by me scared that tongue.
Yeah, and we have some politicians that continue to take our nation, our people for granted. You know, and that is unacceptable. You know, one little bit of thing I want to add in terms of protocol. I understood based on a release that came out on Friday that Governor General Dale Sisi was out of Ireland for the entire Friday, and Mr. Tillman Thomas was the acting Governor General.
Practice.
Right. Practice. But however though, protocol, Mr. Thomas, if you are the acting Governor General, there are certain protocols that comes with it. I saw Mr. Tillman Thomas walking through Grenville on Friday. The said Friday, he's supposed to be acting Governor General, walking through Grenville. He alone, nobody with him, no escort, nothing was put in place to accommodate the former Prime Minister.
Devon, a chatter on this, you tell me never get vine for dead goat. I don't know what that means.
The goat dead already, so I mean, can't eat.
No, the chatter say, Master Carl, never get vine for dead goat.
You know, that is crazy. So many things are being done unprofessionally. Yet you have someone who is leading this country who's supposed to be a professional.
Where shame is absent, Devon, anything could happen.
Yes, I believe that. Because he has no shame. He continues to lie. I'm talking about the Prime Minister. Our present Prime Minister has no shame. He's a hypocrite, and he continues to lie in the face of the Grenadian public. This must not go unpaid.
So many people make New Year's resolutions, Devon. And I was there one of these days in the spirit, having a conversation with the Ancient of Days. You know? And I ask of him to empower our Prime Minister to stop tell lies. Because we want at some stage to believe the Prime Minister.
Yes.
But when he continues to speak untruth, when he continues to, and the thing about it is, Devon, if you want to fire Ron has transgressed so many times when you have grounds to do it. Because chatters on the street say you call the water lady and appease him. Chatters on the street say you set up all kind of thing to bring out propaganda to change the narrative of the Charlie Bongs. But chatters on the street ask an important question. They say the Parcels Estate, which law firm represents the Parcels Estate with the boss? Stop. And they say when you understand the form, the law firm that represents the Parcel Estate, and they say to ask the Prime Minister, I don't know. So they say Prime Minister to ask you, are you a beneficial owner of that law firm? And they say when you get all the answers, Devon, you go realize Ron had to go.
Yes, Ron had to go. He had to be fired.
Let me take the call.
Good afternoon.
Hello, yeah, just quickly, as you want to talk about lying, oh God, I can't take this line. I don't know why some people don't leave the line and get another trade. stop the line and get another trade. But like I always say, I've had a very rewarding time that I worked in the bank for, and I had a great experience because it was a rewarding and it was good. It was an amazing time that I worked in one of the most top banks in the world in those days. And I've always said that I think I would want to, if I have to live my life all over again, I'll close my eyes and join Barclays Bank. But no, I changed my mind because you know why? Because I think I want to become in the next life a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Two things. Because I need to go into the minds of people to see why they're lying. Because I cannot understand how you could stand up in a press conference and say something and blatantly lie. So when I come back next time in life, I think I changed my mind. I think I want to go back in the bank again, although it was a rewarding experience and salaries was good and thing in those days and so on and whatnot. And I'm pretty comfortable now because of the bank, I have insurance, etc. But I think I had to change my mind because I had to get a profession because I need to go into the minds and the brain to see why people could just blatantly lie like that. So in terms of lying, so that is why I say I had to call and tell all you. I think I need to change my profession and get to be a psychologist and a psychiatrist because I need to see why people tell blatant lies. Oh God, have no shame. So all those who lie like hell, maybe they could change all your name to lie.
But between me and you, I think you should approach Mr. Deacon Mitchell. Because you profess to be a supporter of the National Democratic Congress and tell him you're a supporter, but you just can't take it anymore with his lies.
Yeah.
He might listen to you. He won't listen to me.
Yeah, he go listen to you.
Why he go listen to you?
Yeah, I'm not afraid,
No. So discharge that responsibility for me, please.
Yeah.
If it's one thing I ask of you,
if I could get a hearing because what
approach him. You could find out where they're cooking fish and rice on Friday and go there. on Lucas Street.
Because
just find out the building and appear with some fish.
From time to time, I do call the deacon's office to talk to him or to talk to somebody, but they keep on giving me a runaround. Sometimes I call because I just be on radio all the time and I want to make sure that I give accurate information. I try to get things from the press. If you don't get nobody, it's always a runaround.
And when you go in Miss Anne Marie, make sure
you could call me Anne Marie. So that's my name.
Make sure when you're going to visit him to have a conversation, bring a bottle with cock on it. Don't bring it uncovered.
What is the reason why?
No, you will find out. You don't trust to drink anything from him what is uncovered.
I wouldn't take anything. I wouldn't take anything from him, and I wouldn't bring anything. From
him. Bring a bottle with cock on it.
Yeah, make sure you leave the cock on it.
But I'm always said because
why are you laughing all Gits?
Hold on.
Gits. Pull yourself together, Gits, man.
Somebody, let me tell you that now somebody was by me for the Christmas and I'm telling the person, I say, I'd really love to have a conversation with this guy. Because
you should.
Because I can't understand what happened to this guy had. Maybe there's some kind of, with due respect to him, maybe there's some kind of screw slack in somewhere because I can't understand how you could be so untruthful and lie. Oh God, I can't take that line.
When somebody get accustomed in doing something, it's hard to break that habit, eh?
Yes, I agree.
Anyhow, have a wonderful evening, Sandra.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Take care. That the habits, when you have a habit,
have a caller on the WhatsApp.
That sort of thing is hard to break. Good afternoon.
Caller, you have 2 minutes.
Yes. Never before I Master Carl and Igwe. I haven't heard only talking about independence, you know. Just imagine.
Wait, which independence?
$15 million to spend. And we have 1 more month. 1 month.
Which independence you talking about?
Nothing about independence. What happened?
I'm asking you which independence?
We independence coming up.
Why?
In the 7th of February.
I haven't seen anything storing for that.
We're not talking nothing about that 15 million. So we give them that money to share it out.
Carla, listen to me. Anything I say, I have receipt for it. There's a good friend of mine in the United States, in the diaspora, New York. And he said he and 10 of his friends will be coming down here free of cost. They just have to get on the plane.
Courtesy government of Grenada.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's spending that money if the government of Grenada is decide to just spend money on foreigners to come in Grenada.
15 million, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we ain't nothing going on.
But
Everything dead.
how you go hear about $15 million spending so much people that are eating that money?
Yeah.
You only hear nothing?
That to stay quiet.
I don't know, boy.
Anyhow,
Nothing is wrong with the country.
Anyhow, my brother.
We need help.
Anyhow, my
We
brother.
need help. Oh my God.
Have a wonderful evening. You happen to be our last caller.
Yeah, Devon, go with your closing. Sir.
Yes, and as I leave here this afternoon, I stress on two things that has been a concern for me over, especially with our security forces. I'm appealing to this government to please approach and deal with the police when it comes to their pay and grade. We have not been hearing anything of the police officers, right? What are you doing for them? Well, all we have heard is that a lot of them have resigned and getting ready to leave. But please, Mr. Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, do something about our security in this country. Treat our police officers the way they're supposed to be treated. And finally, Ron, former Minister Ron Redhead, I empathize with you, sir. I empathize with you. But you were being fired by the Prime Minister. He said it for himself, right? That you were fired from his cabinet. And so, for whatever reason it is, I mean, I empathize with you. But that is a lesson for you and the Youth for Change had to learn the hard way what NDC as an organization is capable of doing to persons who have put them there. Thank you.
How does this cabinet reshuffle affect the poor and vulnerable? How does it affect cost of living? And the excess monies to pay these fellas and for doing nothing is an added burden to the taxpayers of this country. But I have a little advice from them from Crookwell, you know, they look for that. Let me give them that.
A little advice?
Yeah, I just feel so nice to give them that advice. Yes.
Feel from my heart I'm telling you, black man, all you look for that. Why on earth black man always want that kickstart? Black man, all you look for that.
Tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked.